G'day guys, I'm running a little behind schedule, but hopefully you will see this in the regular time frame. And as you can see, it's an interesting looking thing. I can't remember what they called this on the old dodgy interweb sites. I think it was something along the lines of electric scissors. As you can see, it's basically a Makita drill that's been modified to become a pair of tin snips. There's quite a few of these tools that, have the drill or impact driver style body and then have some weird attachment on the other end. But hey, if it works, it's a quick, easy way to do something, but do tend to look a little odd. Although I think on the website they said this was used for heat dissipation. If you can get a look in there, there is quite a lot of grease just sort of randomly applied to surfaces that don't even move. So I'm not sure just how useful that's going to be. Looking at this thing, I'm kind of thinking this review isn't going to be very long. Because, I might end up killing this thing pretty quick. If you are new to the world of power tools, this is not a genuine Makita. Makita do not make something that looks this bad. But it does take a Makita battery. It has 2 speeds, 1 and 2, just like you get on top of every sort of drill. It's almost like they've thought, well, we've got this case shaping, we need to put 2 gears on everything because we've got that hole there. And so that's what they seem to do, even though this rivet tool and this thing do not need 2 speeds really. When it comes to using this sort of thing to cut metal, I do not normally use that sort of thing very often. I used to in a previous job use the Makita one, the one with the flat base and you sort of run it along sheet metal. Used to use that quite a lot. I do have this old school thing, look at that. It's got these things here, whatever they're called, and this thing, which, yeah, I don't even know what you do with those anymore. But I tend to use metal cutting saws and angle grinders for sheet metal stuff, and I can't imagine with the speed this thing goes, I have used it already, that I could get anything accurate enough with this. It might be useful if I just want to do some weird shape or slight curve or something, or I just want to take out a little nick. We'll see. So, like I say, I have used it and it didn't give me the desired effect, shall we say. But right now we're going to run it through its paces. I'm going to cut a few things I've got here on the bench and we'll see if it can hack it. When it comes to the capacity, the cutting capacity, who knows? These companies, if they're even companies, if you can even classify them as that, they put all sorts of random numbers on there. Every listing's different. They're bullshit numbers that don't normally relate to the tool in any way at all. So I saw random numbers for this up to about 1.2 millimeters in thickness for galvanized steel and maybe up to 1 mil for stainless. I doubt that this thing will cut 1 mil of stainless, but I have got a few things here to test, so we'll see. So let's chuck on a battery. So it's a variable speed trigger. Even the cheapest, shittiest tools come with variable speed triggers, it seems, these days. People seem to get really annoyed that I don't say variable speed trigger every time I review a Makita impact driver or a drill. It's kind of something I forget about because it's just a given as far as I'm concerned. They've been like that for years and years and years and years and years. So, we'll start off with something simple here. This is just a thin aluminium tag, and no problem at all. The thing I think is going to be a problem with this is the speed. If you put it on the second speed, what I was just showing you was the first speed, and you pull that trigger, there's no way you're cutting anything that fast. It's just going to end up chewing shit up. Who knows how fast it's going, because once again the numbers, yeah, complete rubbish. Anyway, we're going to leave it on setting 1. Next up we have the sheet of aluminium or aluminum, depending on what part of the world you're in. And It's a bit skanky, so I thought I would have a bit of a trim of this, and it is 1.2 millimeters in thickness. Let's just see. I'll just start off slow and we'll just see how we go. That's a problem. It's a problem I didn't come into the other day because of the way I was doing it. But see, now we're kind of stuck. Fuck me, that's awful. Now, some of the problems I had there, the speed is just weird, and this doesn't... You're only getting... The cutting area is only that long, sort of thing. Even though the blade comes right out here, this second half, or more than half, is not actually contacting this blade at all. So you're only cutting a tiny little bit at a time. It did cut it, but you may have seen, when I got to a certain point, this comes down, the angle that your piece of metal is going to ride through this groove here. After it's cut, it's coming along the top of this flat section here, and if you see where that flat section follows through to, it goes straight into the tool. So you're going to have to bend your metal away to get it past the tool. Now the problem with doing that is, of course, you're then pulling up the end where it's trying to cut, and it wasn't cut. As soon as I had to do that, it wasn't cutting as well. So that's not a great design. Now with genuine Makita metal cutting shears, you're not going to have that problem because they have this on the right damn angle. Next up, I have some steel mesh. It is also 1.2 millimeters diameter. Being that it's mesh, it shouldn't be as much effort on the tool as if this was a solid piece of metal. But let's see how we go. We'll start off slow. Started off good. Started off quite good, but once again I had that issue where it sort of got to a point where it wasn't cutting because it was just jamming, and I couldn't push it any further because of the battery, and it just becomes a bit awkward. But did cut it okay. Burr wise, not bad at all. So those were two easy things for it to cut. Let's start getting a little meaner. This is just a galvanized sheet of steel, and it is... I've forgotten how thick it was. It looks to be about 1 mil. I think it's 0.9. Let's see if we can hack through this. I'm going to try a slightly different method. I'll leave the tool on the bench and push through. If we can get it to cut it all. Piece of shit. If you want to buy one of these fantastic tools, down in the description there will be a link. Just remember to watch the whole video before you click that link, because I take no responsibility if you're still stupid enough to buy one of these after watching this video. Okay? So I've just measured that piece of steel and it was 0.9, and as you can see we were having a bit of trouble there. If it can't do 0.9 millimeter galv, then it's not a lot of use to me, to be honest. I'm going to be evil now. This is 1.5 mil stainless. I don't have any really thin stainless in sheet format that I want to cut up. So we're just going to see if it has any chance of cutting through this. I'll do it on the hole there, so give it a small chance. Whoa. Man. The inside, I think, was actually bashing on the top then. I don't know if the framing's very good on this video. I'm too busy looking at the tool. The cam inside May already be stuffed by the looks. Oh, look at that, we did it. We did it. It's pretty damn messy, but we did it. What's it done to the teeth of this thing? The jaws don't look too bad. Hasn't got big chunks out of it or anything. Shall we pull this thing apart and see how it works? It's something that if I do pull apart, I don't know if I'll bother putting back together. Bloody hell. It's a bit hard to pick up on camera, but I'm getting a lot of splinters and stuff here. It's leaving very long, very thin strands of metal everywhere, which is a bit annoying. Oh, there's one stuck on the end there. Are we able to see that? Is this camera going to focus enough on there? Not sure if you can see it, but just there, that thin little point, they're real super thin, and it gets stuck in you nice and good. If I pull this apart, unfortunately, it's not going to work. As soon as I open this up, I've got some grub screws here to remove. You have to undo this, and then if we take that apart to look at the mechanism, we can't actually run it properly. Because it's attached to the outside there in a rather crude fashion. Although that welding job's not the worst in the world. But, shall I bother pulling it apart? Is it worth my time and effort? Or shall we get on to reviewing a real Makita tool? Give it a quick look. Right, now I guess we'll undo that. Oh, hello. Oh, okay, that's it. Simple as that, eh? So a cam just goes around and smashes up and down on there and just pushes it bang backwards and forwards. So there's no actual constant pressure on it to actually push down. It's just whacking it. That's, well, I haven't pulled apart a proper Makita one, but that seems pretty shit to me. And here we can see the cam. I'll take the cover off so you can see it a bit better. So these grub screws, which I'm just taking out here, they are an imperial size, whereas the ones that were holding the jaws on are metric, so that's interesting. And no locating pin or anything to put it in the right place, so if you do take it off, you just got to line it back up by eye so you get this straight. You can't have it like that, obviously. So yeah, high quality there. Oh, man, that's rough as guts in there. They've gone in there and ground that out after they've drilled it out to get all the burrs out. Probably can't see in there, but I can see where it was hitting the top when I had it on, when I was trying to cut that bit of stainless. The grease is already filling up with filings pretty fast. It's already going grey after just a few moments of use. That is how long is it going to be before that snaps? This cast piece of shit here. I mean, those are just going to snap off, aren't they? No problem at all. So here's the mechanism that makes it work. Where's me chuck is a battery, bro. So as you can see, it's basically just a drill with an off-center bearing put on it. And that just bashes the shit out of this, up and down, bang, 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 bang. Just moves that one jaw, the bottom jaw, it's the top one that's fixed. And yeah. Why did I waste my time on this friggin' thing? Pretty simple. Couldn't get much more simple. I haven't pulled apart. Geez, look how clunky that is. Oh, it's like catching somewhere. Oh, clunk, 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 clunk. Yeah, shitty bearing inside there somewhere. I don't think I can be bothered going any further to have a look at it. I guess if you didn't, you know, once the outside mechanism here snapped, once this shattered itself, you could just take all this front off and turn it back into a drill. Imagine that, whacking around at that speed, smashing repeatedly into that. It's not going to last more than... If you got through the end of a full day, I'd be pretty surprised. Not to mention it rather vibrating. Now I know some cheapskates in the comments are going to say that I'm just too mean on this poor tool, too harsh on it, that it's actually a good tool. You can think that if you want. But that's a piece of shit. I'm glad I left this sitting on the bench while I was just upstairs editing it. I thought, oh duh, we can make this work better. We can make it cut without crashing into the tool. Because of the way that cam just works like that, we can do this. Now it shouldn't get in the way, right? You just hold it like that. And then the metal can pass. No encumbrances. Let's give it a whirl. Fuck me. Don't try it on setting 2. It's too much. Bloody hell. I know I should be doing this on a better bench or something. Let's try it overhanging the bench down here. Not cutting them. Maybe I can't get it on the right angle because it's not natural now. Forget it. Don't buy it. Sorry guys for even reviewing it, you know. I promise the next 3 videos, okay? The next 3 we're going to do real Makita tools, damn it. Because I'm about done, I think, with this dodgy shit. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on a real Makita view. I'll see you on a real Makita review next week. Also, check out Builds and Stuff. We're going to be whacking out these 2 screw reviews just so you can see 2 impact drivers or drills or impact wrenches up against each other. I'll put out at least 1 a week. So if you haven't subscribed to Builds and Stuff, down in the description, up there, wherever it is, check that out, and I will see you with a real Makita. Oh, look at that, I just got one, as was stuck in the bloody rubber on the handle there. Just got a nice shard of metal stuck in me. I haven't got so many metal splinters so fast before using metal cutting tools. I mean, I know that all metal cutting tools, you know, angle grinders and fucking nibblers, they leave bits of shit everywhere, but this thing, those little spikes are friggin' evil. So yeah. In the bin. See ya.